Welcome back to Mailbag Monday. Today's openings begin with Red Alert Red Ale from Full Geek Brew Lab in Winnipeg. As is increasingly common these days, there is no real tasting notes on the can. There is just a weird little science fiction story that is vaguely related to drinking. Quite nice, kind of malty, not too hoppy, just the way I like it. So let's get into the first real package here. This is, four little modules. Two of them are, these are stepper motor driver modules. I'm buying a few of these to stock up recently, just whenever I find them cheap. So I'm going to guess this 2-pack was fairly cheap. One piece, a 4988 stepper motor driver module for 3D printers, etc. They were, and still are, 99 cents Canadian each, which is why I bought a couple of them. Currently, they have a shipping fee on them. Back when I bought them several months ago, they did not, which is why I chose to get them. Well, that and the cheap price. We've seen these things a bunch of times before. They are just really convenient little modules to control stepper drivers. You just give them a direction signal and pulses, and it will move the stepper motor in time with the pulses that you're giving it. Speed up the pulses, speeds up the motor. Hit the reverse pin, it reverses the motor. Very, very simple to drive, and cheap and affordable too, so why not stock up on them? And the other two modules that were in that same package are these little I2C modules, which call themselves a WC-MCU75. And the chip that's riding on the board is an LM75A. Now, I don't remember what these are, because, as I always say, this was many months ago when I ordered them. So I guess we'll have to go and look this up on the listing and find out what it really is. Oh, right, it's a temperature sensor. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. LM75A temperature sensor, high-speed I2C interface development board module. Good. I'm glad they're not selling bad ones. As you can see, this cost me a whole 99 cents, similar to the last modules. Bought a couple of them, and again, there was free shipping back then. There isn't now. And of course, they don't really have any other information about it down here other than just the name of the board again. Just reading through the data sheet, it's a little bit more than just a basic temperature sensor. You can use it as an I2C temperature sensor, and it's perfectly happy to do that, but you can also program it through the I2C to basically give it a temperature threshold, and then it will send an interrupt type signal out to your device, to your microcontroller, whatever, when it hits those thresholds, so you don't have to constantly monitor it looking for a threshold if you want to use it in a thermostat kind of an application. That's pretty nifty. I guess that simplifies your code so that your code doesn't have to be constantly checking in with it. Just wait for that interrupt to happen. That's pretty clever. All right, next thing in. This feels like one of those multi-packs that I've been getting more and more of lately. Yep, that's exactly what it is. What do we have here? CDQ Yellow US. It is a cheap USB charger that claims to be 120 watts, or is that model 120W. It has two USB-A's that are labeled as Quick Charge 3, and it has two USB-C's that are labeled as Power Delivery. And other than that, it has, there is some more labeling on it. Oh no, 140W isn't the model number, it's a 2C77. Input 100 to 240 volts, 50-60 hertz, so universal as usual, half an amp. Okay, the USB-C claims 5 volts up to 3 amps, 9 volts, 2.2 amps, or 12 volts, 1.5 amps. And the USB-A claims to be very multi-voltage, so between 3.6 and 6.5 volts up to 3 amps, 6.5 to 9 volts, 2 amps, and 9 to 12 volts, 1.5 amps. So, yeah, it seems to be indicating that it's doing various power delivery stuff, and it also claims that it can do up to 3.4 amps at 5 volts, 120 watts maximum. So presumably that's spread across the USB-A and USB-C. This thing has very little weight to it, and I don't really believe that it can do all of those things. I should do a separate teardown video on this thing. I want to just see if I can quickly take a peek inside and just see how badly it's lying. Although it seems that it doesn't want me in, so I'll have to use brute force and ignorance to open it up. That will be a future video. 4 ports, USB-C power delivery, charger, quick charge 3.0, Type-C, USB phone charger, fast charging, etc., etc. Currently selling for $5.96 Canadian. I am not convinced that it's going to live up to any or many of these claims. I wasn't convinced of it when I bought it, and just feeling the weight of it, I'm still not convinced of it. There are different variants on this with all of your popular plug styles, so that's good, I guess. It's not doing very much talking about the outputs. It's mentioning the input voltage, which is fine enough, but yeah, it's not really talking too much about those output voltages, so we will have to find out when we dig into this thing. And what else came in that package? We have some small crimp terminals for, these are the XH254 style. There's 100 pieces of those. These are for the 2.54 millimeter JST. And these are the female crimp pins. And the other thing just to go with them is a bag of 100 terminals, 50 male and 50 female. The male already have the pins in them, and the female are just an enclosure or shell that these go into. This is just stocking up my my collection of various different JST connectors, JST style connectors. They're commonly used in so many different things, and I don't think I had any of these, or if I did, there was like just 2 or 3 of them in a variety pack, so figured I would add these to the stockpile. 500 or 100 pieces XH 2.54 JST metal pins female crimp terminal for the XH series 2.54 millimeter socket housings. Currently selling for $2.94. They were a bit less than that when I ordered them months ago, but as usual, search around, see what you can find for a better price. Nothing really else to say about them down here, just repeating what we already saw. Okay. And the shells, 100 pieces JST, XH 2.54, etc. in various different pin counts. My bag of 100 of the 2-pin male and female, so 50 of each. Currently selling for $2.94. And again, not a huge amount more to say about them down here, just repeating what we already know. And now, the last and largest package today. What do we have in here? Oh, this looks like a Ryobi battery, except for it's a kit, I think. I think I remember ordering that. Let's just get it fully out of its plastic here. Yes, this is a DIY kit to make your own battery for Ryobi power tools. The charge protection and discharge protection and balancing board is already pre-assembled, and we have wires flying off for the intercell for the balance leads, and we got a B plus and a B minus over there. And then we have a cell holder for 10 18650s, which is appropriate. We've got some plastic latches and other little plastic doodads, and a little bag of metal bits here. A light pipe for the LEDs to tell what the charge state is. Some screws, some little plastic buttons, and then some metal work. These are little nickel strip pieces for paralleling the batteries like that. And then a couple of other strips that I'm assuming run up to the top of the thing, something like that, to get power in and out. These are latches, or little spring latches for the buttons on the side of the case. And looks like a couple more terminal bits. What it doesn't come with is any instructions, so there's going to be a little bit of figuring out going on. But that should be relatively straightforward to deal with, especially since I have taken apart a few other of the actual Ryobi batteries, so should be able to manage this, I think. How does that go in? That goes in like that, and no, it doesn't. It goes in, I don't know, we'll figure it out. And we've also got a little NTC thermistor there, which will tuck down in between the cells. There is some MOSFETs for disconnecting the pack when it's not happy, I should assume, anyway. Current sensing resistors. Interesting. Let's see if the listing has anything further to say about this. I'm hoping it does, because like I said, it doesn't really come with any instructions or anything. 10 cores, 18650 battery storage box for Ryobi 18 volt lithium-ion plastic battery case, charge protection circuit board, etc. Currently selling for $21.38, and again, that's a little bit higher than it was a couple months ago when I bought this, but that's just the way of the world. Yeah, the first customer review comment that's in here is pointing out that there is no manual. You have to guess what part goes where, but you can do it. There's a user manual link. It doesn't say very much at all. Remove packaging, charging. Yeah, that's useless. This is apparently all of the Ryobi tools that it's compatible with, which is, most of them. And then there is what we got, and then assembly diagram again, such as it is. Oh, that's interesting. It does have the temperature reporting terminal as well as the positive and negative terminals. Okay. This is going to be an interesting challenge to put together. Initially, I was wondering if I could get away with using a whole bunch of salvage vape cells in this thing, but I don't think I can, mostly because I've got such a variety of them. I've got a bunch of cells, but not very many the same, so I think I may have to come up with a different source of 18650s. And there is the contents of today's Mailbag Monday haul. Good variety, interesting stuff. Start off with these two little modules, the temperature sensing module, which is a different one that I've played with before. I've got a few different temperature sensors, but this one, well, looked intriguing, and of course it was cheap. And just got a few more of these stepper motor drivers. Those are always handy to have around. Next, these JST, what did I call them? The XH 2.54 series. Pins and male and female shells. Always useful things to have around in a variety of different sizes. These ones I think often get used for batteries in different products, so I think that's why I grabbed them specifically. And of course, I didn't have very many, if any, of that size. This charger here claims to be 120 watts, claims to be power delivery, and all those good things. That's going to be explored in greater detail in the next week or two. And then we have this Ryobi battery kit. That should be an interesting challenge just because it doesn't have any instructions with it. I do have some 18650s that I can harvest from some tool batteries that I got that are for a tool brand that I don't have. And I think they're in pretty good shape, so I think that's where I'll harvest those for to build this thing out. Not sure whether I'll save this for a December kit build or if I'll do it sooner. I might do it sooner. I don't know. Let me know if you want to see this thing put together. Or if you have put together one of these and have some insight into what's going on. I think I'm going to have to take apart one of the generic batteries that I got and just compare where the connections go. Or I might just guess and figure it out the hard way. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I always appreciate that. Thanks to my YouTube channel members and Patreon supporters for throwing a few dollars into the kitty every month and helping keep the beer fridge full. I do appreciate that. Questions and comments, as always, down below. I will talk to you later.